You take your truck in for an oil change. Nothing fancy. 30 minutes later, you drive off the lot and something feels wrong. The throttle is sluggish. The transmission is shifting early. The engine feels like it lost 20 horsepower overnight. You did not ask for anything to be changed. But while your truck was on the lift, the dealership quietly pushed a software update to your engine control unit. They rewrote the brain of your vehicle without telling you, and now your truck drives like a different machine. This is happening to thousands of car owners every single year, and a growing number of smart mechanics have figured out the only permanent fix. They are ripping the factory computer out entirely and replacing it with something the manufacturer cannot touch. Your engine control unit, the ECU, is the computer that controls everything your engine does. It manages fuel injection, ignition timing, transmission shift points, throttle response, idle speed, and emission systems. In a modern vehicle, the ECU is running millions of calculations per second to determine how your engine behaves at any given moment. And unlike the ECU in a 2003 Silverado that was programmed once at the factory and never touched again, a modern ECU is a living document. Manufacturers push over-the-air updates and dealer-applied reflashes that rewrite how your engine operates. Some of these updates are legitimate. They fix bugs. They address safety recalls, but many of them are not in your interest at all. Manufacturers push updates that retune the engine for stricter emissions compliance, reducing power output and throttle response in the process. They push updates that make the auto start-stop system more aggressive, grinding your starter motor at every red light. They push updates that change transmission behavior to prioritize fuel economy numbers on a government test sheet over actual drivability. And here is what most owners do not know. When you bring your car in for any service, many dealerships apply pending software updates automatically without informing you. The technician plugs in the dealer diagnostic system, sees a pending update, and installs it as part of the standard service procedure. You authorized an oil change. You got an engine personality transplant. But it gets worse for owners who have already spent money to optimize their vehicle. Thousands of truck and car owners invest in professional ECU tunes. These are calibrated software modifications done by experienced tuners who adjust fuel maps, ignition timing, and transmission shift logic to improve power, throttle response, and drivability. A quality tune can cost $300 to $500 and make a noticeable difference in how the vehicle performs. When the dealership applies a factory software update, it can fully overwrite that tune. Your $500 investment is erased in 30 seconds, and the dealership does not tell you it happened. You drive home and the truck feels terrible. The mid-range pull is gone. The throttle feels lazy. The transmission is hunting between gears. Tuning shops report seeing this every single week. Owners come in confused, thinking something mechanical broke, when the real problem is that the dealer wiped their calibration and replaced it with a new factory revision that nobody asked for. In some cases, the update does not even fully overwrite the tune. It partially overwrites it, leaving the ECU running a hybrid of old tune values and new factory logic that were never designed to work together. The result is worse than either the tune or the stock calibration. The engine runs rough, throws fault codes, and the owner ends up at the dealer paying for a diagnostic visit to fix a problem the dealer created. This is where the factory reset loophole comes in. A growing community of mechanics and owners are solving this problem permanently by abandoning the factory ECU altogether and installing a standalone aftermarket engine management system. Companies like Holley, Haltech, and Fueltech build standalone ECUs that replace the factory computer entirely. You remove the original ECU from the vehicle, install the aftermarket unit, and wire it into a new harness. The aftermarket computer now controls fuel, spark, and in many cases the transmission. And the critical difference is this: a standalone system has no connection to the manufacturer. There is no cellular modem. There is no over-the-air update channel. There is no dealer backdoor. The manufacturer cannot push a software change to your vehicle because the manufacturer's computer is no longer in the vehicle. The Holley Terminator X is one of the most popular options on the market. It was designed specifically for LS engine swaps and hot rod builds, but owners of aging trucks and performance vehicles are increasingly using it as a factory ECU replacement. The system comes with the ECU, a complete wiring harness, and all necessary sensors as a plug-in kit. It features self-learning fuel strategies, meaning you plug it in, start the engine, and it begins tuning itself as you drive. It includes built-in data logging, boost control, nitrous control, and programmable safety features that the factory ECU does not have. If your fuel pressure drops or the engine leans out dangerously, the Holley shuts things down to protect the motor. The factory GM ECU has zero safety precautions for those scenarios according to professional tuners. And here is the part that changes the ownership equation entirely. You tune it yourself from a laptop or a phone. There is no sending the computer away. There is no paying $500 every time you change a cam or swap an intake. You open the software, adjust the tables, and the engine responds immediately. You own the tune. You own the data. You own the vehicle. But this is not just about performance enthusiasts chasing horsepower. This is about control. Modern vehicles are moving toward a model where the manufacturer maintains permanent software authority over the car you paid for. Over-the-air updates can change your vehicle's behavior at any time for any reason without your consent. We have already seen automakers use OTA updates to lock features behind subscriptions. We have already seen them use updates to reduce performance for emissions compliance after the vehicle was sold. And with the rise of security gateways that block independent diagnostic access through the OBD2 port, the window for owners to even read their own engine data is closing. Installing a standalone ECU is the mechanical equivalent of jailbreaking your phone. You are removing the manufacturer's operating system and replacing it with one that answers to you. No dealership can reflash it during an oil change. No over-the-air update can change your tune at 3 a.m. No security gateway can block you from reading your own sensor data. The vehicle becomes yours again in every sense of the word. Now, this is not for everyone. Removing a factory ECU on a newer vehicle that is still under warranty will void that warranty. On vehicles with advanced driver assistance systems, stability control, and integrated safety features, swapping to a standalone ECU requires significant expertise to ensure those systems still function properly. This loophole is most powerful on older trucks and vehicles from the early 2000s to mid-2010s, where the factory ECU is aging out and replacement parts are becoming scarce. The automotive industry wants you to believe that your vehicle's software belongs to them, that your engine computer is their property running on their code, and that you should be grateful they keep updating it for you. Smart owners are rejecting that premise entirely. They are pulling the factory brain, wiring in their own, and taking permanent control of how their vehicle runs. If you want to stay ahead of every software trap the auto industry is running, subscribe to Car Unlock. We break down the loopholes, the bypasses, and the tools that keep you in the driver's seat of your own vehicle. Share this with anyone whose truck came back from the dealer feeling different, because now they know why. We will see you in the next one.